Hello, welcome to Werkstatt and welcome to a new video. In today's video, I want to give you a short demo on how I draw with Neocolor. 2 weeks ago, we had for the whole week 5 polls where you could express your opinion on which colors would be part of this demo, and the set of colors from which to choose were these two sets released by Caran this year, the pastel set and the dark set. And the colors that you selected were these ones. What we're gonna do today is I'm gonna show you a little bit this palette, what I think about it. Do I find it difficult or easy to use? I'm gonna show you the sketches that I did as preparation for this demo, and then we're gonna have the demo. For the demo, so this is a more representation palette. For the demo, I'm using my colors that I have already started. So you see they don't look that good anymore. Okay, so I think let's get started. The paper I'm using is this one, Canson Graduate manga paper. It's 200 grams per square meter and it's acid free. It's a paper that I like a lot. If you want to have some recommendations on which brands and types of paper to use, I have 2 videos about this. So just feel free to go and watch them. Now, let's start with some info about the palette. Which colors do we have in this palette? I'm gonna do some swatches for you. This is the palette. These are the colors. So we have Caput Mortuum, Payne's Gray, Sky Blue, Light Cobalt Blue, Amazonite, Lime Green, Sahara Yellow, Peach Blossom, Light Heliotrope, and Zinc ochre. So what do I think about this palette? Honestly, I find it quite challenging. Why? Because we have really almost all the colors in this guys in a way. So we have yellow, we have this is kind of a dark orange, then we have these which are reds. This Caput Mortuum is some kind of very dark violet. And these that are kind of blue, and these two that are kind of green. So you see we have like all the colors: yellow, orange, red, violet, blue, green. Usually when I choose a palette on my own, I try to focus on 2 colors, more or less 2-3 colors, and this to create a harmony. And this selection is a bit spread out, so I found it a bit challenging. What does it mean? To obtain like a nice cohesive drawing, what do we need to do? We need to have some colors in larger quantity, like choose some of these colors that are gonna be the main colors of the drawing, and then use some other colors just to give an accent or to add an extra layer, an extra nuance of color. But I think the drawing is gonna be quite chaotic if we add all the colors in the same amount, so to say. And so before drawing with a palette, what can be useful to do is to try some mixing, like blending, layering. I show you just a couple of examples. I find, for example, this Caput Mortuum having this plus other colors, like we can add the Sahara Yellow just as a trial. We can add Amazonite, and then I think we try also with Peach Blossom. What happens? So you see which colors come out of this mixing. and it's kind of interesting. For example, I find this quite interesting. Yeah, so you start to get an idea of which mixes you can get. So I find this kind of mixing also very important, or yeah, it can be very helpful when you have such a palette which is a bit spread out, because it allows you to like bring some colors into a more cohesive way. So that's about first impressions about the palette. So I found it quite challenging, but nevertheless I tried different things over like last week, and now I have a subject that I would like to draw together with you. But first I show you what I did last week. I did several trials. This one is still with the same palette, and I wanted to draw some kind of old like Lascaux caves painting, prehistoric, but with a person, with a contemporary person. So you see a person who has their phone with them and a dog on the leash. So yeah, I tried this out. Honestly, I really like how this drawing came out. But this was a trial. We're not gonna draw this today. Then I made this. This is a big drawing, but basically here I tried to draw some smaller pieces like this. These are two cherries, two hills, a meadow, a flat peach. Then I tried to do some mixing here, you see, to explore. Then I drew like a pot with flowers, some more flowers to test this gradient from blue to pink. And then I did a test with the tree. Here actually in this part I used all the colors. So this was the first experiment that I did. And then I did another one with this plant. And I really liked how this turned out. And I think that today we're gonna draw a similar plant together. Let's start. We go step by step. First thing I'm doing now is I'm taking light cobalt blue and I'm sketching the leaves. And then I'm gonna use Sahara yellow for the flowers. So first step, you can do this with the pencil or with a light color if you're on white paper, to draw an outline to guide a bit your drawing. Okay, here we go. This flower is not gonna be a flower, but we have an outline for the leaves. We have also an outline for the flowers, and now I want to insert these, for the leaves, these parts here, these veins. Okay, we're done. So I think we start from here, from the leaves. What I want to do now is to have a bit of a gradient in the leaves, where the part close to the veins is more amazonite, and the part close to the border is more light cobalt blue. So I'm using these two colors. For the veins I was using the Payne's gray. Then before I add the light cobalt blue, I want also to already make the parts that will have a shadow darker, and here I'm using a light layer of Payne's gray. We're doing like this, we assume that the light is coming from the left. Okay, now I'm done, and now I will go with the light cobalt blue. Now, you see the reason why I chose to do like this, because I wanted to have a bit more variety on the leaves, so I think two colors were good. Now what I do is, with this lime green, I want to add just a light layer on the leaves, on the parts where the light is coming. And you see I did it here as well. I'm pressing a bit harder on the border of the leaf, and then I'm just having a very, very, very light layer. This is also to add a little bit of saturation selectively on certain parts of the plant. Now let's go to the flowers. On the flowers, I would like to create a gradient that goes from light heliotrope around, then peach blossom, and then Sahara yellow. So these three colors. We need to start to think about the background. So for the background, I'm gonna do like this. Here the earth is gonna be sky blue, and up there, actually I want to change it a little bit from what I had here, because it was a bit too dark in my opinion. So for the sky, I would like to mix, let's do it this way. Zinc ochre, this is a bit improvised, but I would like to mix zinc ochre with light cobalt blue and peach blossom. And for the sky, I'm gonna do like more or less random patterns, not all the same way. And I'm trying to have this lower part a bit lighter and the upper part a bit darker. While for the earth, it's gonna be all sky blue. And now I think also that I still would like maybe to add a little bit of sky blue here in the sky. Just a little bit. Now, we haven't, you have might notice that we have not used the Caput mortuum yet. How we're gonna use it. So I found in this palette, I discovered a really interesting fact. Look, if we take the Payne's gray like this, and then we add Caput mortuum on top, there is a really nice kind of the two colors vibrate in a way. So I'm putting Caput mortuum highlight in the shadow to enhance a little bit the shadow. And you see, suddenly the whole thing is much more three-dimensional. By just adding this little accent, we have created a much more three-dimensional picture. Now, still with the Caput mortuum, I add a little bit of shadow within the flowers. Now I smooth out a bit this Caput mortuum so that it's integrated a bit better in the flower. And now I do a thing that I didn't plan, but you see here we added the lime green to highlight a little bit the lights. I want to try this on the flower itself, just a tiny line. Okay, let me know in the comments if I did it the right thing or not. And then this is optional, we could stop here or we could go a bit farther. But what I would like to do here now is also to have a connection of the flowers to the plant. This is totally optional. And for this, I want to use the zinc ochre together with a slight touch of Caput mortuum. Okay, and here is our plant. So I hope you learned something from the drawing, even if it's probably not my best drawing. Let me know in the comments which one you like more, this or this. And really interesting thing in this palette is this interplay between Caput mortuum and Payne gray that gives a lot more three-dimensionality to the shadows. And here, if you want, you can do a small adjustment to the leaves just to like highlight some details. If you try out this palette on your own and you would like to share the results, you can post them on Instagram and tag me so that I can see them and also eventually share them or do a small collage of all the pictures, all the drawings that you made with this palette. That's all from my side. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you soon in the next video.